Welcome back to another edition of Athletic Director University. Very excited to be with the best dressed athletic director in the business, Chris Del Conte. How you doing, Chris?
Everything's great. Low hanging fruit when you say best dressed.
Best dressed. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em. That's
You
it.
guys are doing pretty good right now. How about that Sugar Bowl win?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Happy for Tom, the kids. We're heading in the right direction.
That's good. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about leadership right now. So in your opinion, tell us a little bit about what makes an effective athletic director across the country, but also at the University of Texas.
I really think it's your ability to serve other people. Right? You're the ultimate, I think, the ultimate middle manager. You have trustees, you have donors, you have fans, you have constituents you're constantly having to serve, you have student athletes, coaches, their wants and needs, and staff. So at the end of the day, it's really that you're leading by serving. And if you have that servant heart and that servant leadership, you can accomplish a lot of things, because really what athletics is about is giving that opportunity, give that student athlete, that coach, all the tools necessary for them to achieve their dream. And if you help them achieve their dream, we all win together. And you're asking people to join you in that dream. And that's the tough part about college athletics, because we're running an enterprise based on people's passion.
Right. And they are passionate about it.
And guess what? The most rational people you know become irrational when it comes to passion.
Yeah.
You know?
So how do you promote that passion or work with that passion to make your job more effective?
I think that everyone's going to come up with a vision, what they want for the program to be. And I take 3 words my father always taught me when I was younger: be humble, be honest, and serve others. And if you're humble in the mission, we want to be a national championship program. We want to compete for championships. We do it humbly. We want to recruit the kids that achieve that same dream, right? And then we want coaches to have that. And my job is to garner the resources for them to fulfill that mission. And along the way, you have countless fans enjoying that journey by doing it ethically. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you're providing young people, which is the most important thing, an opportunity to get a free education, right, or a partial education for free, which outside of the GI Bill, college athletics provides more aid than any other organization in the country through education. And that's the American dream, right? Is getting a college degree.
Chris, budgets are on the rise. There was an article recently about your budget, and
slightly overinflated.
You were singled out for, was it $200+ million?
I didn't hear that.
You didn't see that? Talk to us. Where are we going with college athletics with this budget? Escalation seems like it's on the rise.
I think everything is it's on the rise because every one of our student athletes wants to compete at the highest level, whether you're being in rowing, football, women's basketball, men's basketball, golf, women's tennis. We're all trying to compete for championships, and the resources that we generate are we pouring back into our student athletes and our coaches into giving them an unbelievable experience that they can take with them for a lifetime. So I think that you can look from the dawn of time. Things have happened. They've always increased along the way, but also what we provide has also increased. The amount of support we have for our student athletes. We have 429 full-time employees at the University of Texas, and their sole job is to support our coaches and our student athletes. In every facet, we have 35 in academics, you have 30 in our training room, you have nutritionists, you have specialization, we have mental health people, we have everyone now involved around to give our student athletes all the tools necessary for them to be successful in the classroom and playing field, and that's part of where our resources go.
Many people that read that article will say $200 million. Chris has no challenges, but we know that's not true. What are the challenges you think at Texas that are unique?
There's a sign in the weight room, and I love this sign because it is really defines what it is to be a Longhorn. And the sign says that the University of Texas will not be entrusted to the timid nor the weak. It's not for everybody. The University of Texas is not for everybody. You have 600,000 living alumni. You have 26 million people in the state of Texas. You have 50,000 students, and the eyes of Texas are always upon you. it is not for everybody.
Pressure.
The expectations of you daily are high. And it is a wonderful place to work. But it is one of those places where a student athlete also has to know that when you come here, our expectation is to be here. We're supporting you at the level where we expect you to be the very best. And they do everything possible to help you achieve that dream. So that's tough when you say, oh, there's a lot of wants and wishes, because there's a lot of teams competing and winning national championships, and you want to be a part of that.
As all leaders, you've had to evolve and change over the years. Give us some examples of how you've evolved as a leader from Arizona, TCU, and now Texas.
I think when I first got to become an AD for a moment, I needed to have all the answers. I'm in charge. I got the fancy desk. I got the title of athletic director. I needed to have all the answers. And my voice needed to be the voice that was the end all. And because that's what you're there for. You were the boss. And slowly surely by listening and being a part of it, you realize you don't have to have all the answers. They're just looking for you for guidance. They're looking for you for support. They're also looking for you to just bounce ideas off. And it's kind of like when you first get married, you're just kind of figuring it out, right? You come and you love each other, then also you become married, and hey, you don't put that toothpaste cap on in the morning. There's different rules and regulations you learn to follow, and you learn how to truly grow in your relationship. And leadership's about growth too. You have to grow. I felt like at the beginning I was making sure that person knew I was competent and I had all the answers, and realized that's what they were asking for. Yeah. So now you come to the conclusion that my job is to be the wind beneath the wings of a coach. If I don't have the answer, find the right person that does, give it to them, and do the things we need to be successful. And servant leadership is the purest form of what I call leadership, in the regard that's not about you, it's about them. Right. The University of Texas, we have this saying, it's we, not me. Right. And when you start with we enjoy the ride.
You've been an athletic director now at 3 different places. What are some of those milestones you think at the University of Texas that you're really judged on? I think our audience would like to hear. What keeps you up at night? What are those things you're evaluated?
I mean, it's interesting. I might be the only athletic director in the country that has been an AD in 3 institutions in the same state. Yeah. I've covered Houston with Rice. Went up Fort Worth and Dallas with TCU. Now I'm in Austin with Texas. So that's unique in itself. I say the unique thing is that one of the common threads, whether you're TCU, Rice, or Texas, is that those alums love their school. And you're a caretaker for them. And your job is to do the very best job for the people that graduated from that university, that participate in athletics for the university, that teach at that university, because their passion is tied up through athletics as the front porch. So milestones for me have been unique at all 3. My favorite holiday at all 3 is really graduation. It's the culmination of all that hard work. I think watching Tom, who ironically was with me at Rice, to see him being that young offensive coordinator, and now watching him lead and how he leads, I learned something from him. That's pretty cool. Every day I get the chance to learn something different that I didn't see in him then, that I see now. I'm like, wow, that guy's a special leader. David Pierce was with me at Rice as the assistant baseball coach, and what I see in him now is completely different. Yeah. And we all evolve in life, right? But I think milestones come from enjoying other people's successes.
Athletic directors in our business can be judged on things that are out of their control. Coaches make decisions, student athletes make decisions. Do you think that's fair, that athletic directors sometimes take the fall for many of those decisions that were out of their control?
I mean, part of it is too much credit is given. There's an old saying a friend of mine told me one time: success has 1,000 friends, failure is an orphan. Every great hire, everyone was part of that hire. Every hire that failed, the AD made a mistake. Who hired that guy? Right? So there's too much credit given and too much blame given, but that's part of the business, right? That's part of it. So I look at it, you just do the very best job you can. Decisions need to be informative, but ultimately someone needs to make that decision. So if everything that you do has clear thought behind it, has a breadth of knowledge behind it, and yet at the same time, everyone's aware of it, then that's what you're in good shape. What happens with these decisions is decisions made in a vacuum sometimes will cause the problem. And getting blamed for things is just part of the business. Right? It's just part of it.
When those decisions and the pressure is at its highest, hiring a football coach, a basketball coach, who are those on campus or maybe off campus that you lean on when you're making those decisions?
Depends on who's involved. You're going to have 2 or 3 staff members who are going to work pretty closely with in-house. At that level, you have the president. And then you're going to have what I refer to as, you have 3 or 4 or 5 team owners that are stakeholders that are part of that process. That's just factual. That you're going to say, okay, let me get these 4 or 5 people that have been really involved in the program and say, hey, here's what we're going to go look at. Here's what we're looking for, and we're going to make the call. And you go make the call. But at the end of the day, I don't want them in the decision making. We'll just lay out the parameters. But the more higher profile the job is, the more hands you have in the pot, and that's just factual.
You got a high profile job.
And you have a lot of hands in the pot, right? And that's why the eyes of Texas are always upon you. So hiring an entry level job, you got that stuff. That football coach, you got a lot of team owners. Yeah.
Well, Chris, this has been great. Thank you. Thank you for your time. I know how busy you are, and our viewers really appreciate you spending a little time with us today.
Good to be with you.
You're a good man.
Appreciate you.
Thanks.